So this is the start. What feels like yesterday, but full of memories for forever.
Why are you smiling?
With a little bit of fun.
We just living our life,
Yeah.
bestie. Yeah.
Craziness.
Oh shit! Watch out, watch out, watch out.
And celebration. This is how we had our first
Is it close up?
ever creative camp.
So, after driving about 7 hours to Ohio, I finally got to this beautiful cabin that I got to meet all the people that I got to spend my time with. Keep in mind, this is one of the first times that I've ever interacted with creators outside of my state. And honestly, this was such a surreal experience for me. One of the things I really appreciated about this trip though is that I wasn't the only one without a lot of experience. In fact, there were people without any experience. But also I feel like one of the things my parents came to America for was for a better life, to give opportunities that they wouldn't have had before.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would be letting them down if I didn't chase my dreams.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that, really well said. But I also think even for people, like for example, for myself, where it seems like a stable career path, I won't lie, it's hard.
Yeah.
So like even when you don't have like a passion for it and you go right into it, it's like just do what it is that you really actually want to do, and it'll.
Yeah.
I think things will work out. But I'm happy that you chose what you're choosing to do. I love your work. It's like no, I'm so serious. I think it's like it's really like I guess inspiring to look at, because it's like for me, I always just kind of followed a one-track path. I think just being here opened my eyes to a lot of opportunity that I didn't think was available, just because of obviously like how we grew up, what the ideas behind like a life fulfilling career, or even like something that quote unquote stability in some way. But it's like I don't think people understand like having a purpose is some sort of like stability too. So I think that's where I'm glad that you chose what you wanted to do.
I like the way you said that. That's so fire. Like having a purpose is stability. I'm not capping. Let me speak my Gen Z. I'm just kidding.
Yup. Yeah.
Being able to connect with someone about a personal experience right from the get-go was something that really set the tone for the rest of this trip. And I think that being so vulnerable allowed me to get so comfortable. But as welcome as I felt, I was also feeling a lot of imposter syndrome. I've always felt like a small town creative, and seeing everyone with their amazing camera rigs and editing skills kind of made me feel like I was out of place. Even though I was hosting my own workshop at this event, I felt like I didn't belong. All I had was a story to tell. But after hosting my workshop, I started to see that I could bring something to the table, especially as a first-time filmmaker. Among a group of other photographers and videographers, filmmaking is something that's actually such a unique experience. As I started to become more confident in my place at the camp, I started to see that I wasn't the only one with insecurities. There was other people who had similar feelings, and not just that, but passions and dreams about what they wanted to do in their careers. And I think that Sean and Kaylee's vulnerability in their conversation really got to showcase that.
I think personally, it's the fact that I have to have camera anxiety. This is why I'm behind the camera most of the time. Yeah, so that's the irony. But I think as time goes on and seeing how other creators work and seeing how they carrying themselves really does motivate me to put myself out there more and just create even though people may judge you and all, but at the end of the day, it's you yourself in this world. You're the one who's in your own body, and no one can stop you from creating the stuff that you want to do. I want to be someone who inspires others. I think seeing how everyone inspires me, hopefully one day I'll get to the point where I'm able to inspire others too through my storytelling, through videos.
For me, I want to be able to provide more spaces for other creatives, because I think what I enjoy the most is being surrounded by creatives. So I think if I can provide more opportunities for creatives to connect, to create what they want to do, I think that is like something I aspire to always do. Whether I start this business or if I do something else, I think that's something I'm constantly trying to achieve. I think for me personally, what I want to do is I want to feel like I'm a kid always. So I think that's like something that keeps me youthful, but as well as like it keeps me very positive. Because you know, when you're a kid, you feel like, oh, like anything's possible. You're curious about everything and you're never bored. I think when I started anything, it's like I just don't want to be bored, because the alternative is like I could just get another job and like be okay. Yeah. But if I'm starting something, like I want it to be entertaining, good and bad. Like I feel like Fluff so far has been so much fun. I think the problem-solving aspects are very interesting. Like we've had so many crazy stories and crazy moments, but when you look back and you're like, oh shoot, like we went through that and now we're here, or like in a better place, like it feels super satisfying. So I want to always feel that childlike curiosity to be able to create and like look forward to my next day. Because I feel like when kids like wake up, they're like running to their parents going like, hey, like wake up, we gotta go play. But if I can feel like that all the time, I think that's, I know it's like lame, but I think that's like my whole like mantra is like, if I only have like this one life to live, I want it to be meaningful. And I think that for me is like never feeling bored.
In my perspective, I think that understanding human connection and the impact that you and your work can have on other people is really important to navigating your career as a creative. But besides that, I think that knowing your why is really important as well. That really determines the direction that you're going to go in. And for some of us, that direction really comes from a place that hits home. What's your why as a creative?
Why?
Yeah. Like, why do you do this? Why do you keep going? Like,
why? That's a deep ass question to end it.
Yeah. That's why. My why is like I said earlier, it's kind of like meeting new people and building relationships and kind of like pursuing my passion. I mentioned this to Rachel a little bit, and since we're both Viet, I think you might understand as well. Part of it is kind of like I want to chase my dreams and my passion because my parents like immigrated over here for better opportunity. And I feel like I would be letting them down if I didn't do that. Like maybe it's not like the most financially stable or like the fucking earthquake stairs, bro. It's okay, just come through. I think it should be okay since we have noise cancellation, but just in case, yeah. But yeah, so like because my parents immigrated here and like I just want to be able to not let them down and chase my dreams. Yeah. I want to be able to like live my life to the fullest. And I also told Rachel this earlier, but like COVID-19, you know, life isn't guaranteed. Sometimes it's cut short. You gotta just, you know, be present, you know, do what you want to do rather than just letting the chance slip by. Yeah.
Dang, how am I gonna top that answer?
It's okay, you don't have to top it. Just I would say just answer what's true to yourself because that's what we're here to be. You just be yourself and authentic, and that's how your passion comes out, right? So
yeah, I think for me, my why is kind of similar. I guess all of my life, it kind of felt like I had to prove myself, like for other people. But like my why now is like I gotta prove it to myself that I can do this, because like I grew up like watching my dad like be an entrepreneur himself, and like do all this stuff like just to fulfill and like let me be where I'm at now. So I don't want to let him down. So similar to yours. So then when I see that, it keeps me going to like chase it. And then like doing this right out of college, like I graduated with architecture, so I could have done that, but I just wanted to prove to myself that like I can do this and go my own path and make it for myself. And then with the other guys too, it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Chase your dreams, just do it. Hey, sometimes it's just not enough to have just your why though. You have to be able to navigate interpersonal relationships and learn how to work efficiently and respect each other's time. That's especially the case in filmmaking, and I think Tomo and Pete touched on that as well.
I mean, as a photographer myself, I definitely enjoy the creating of whatever I'm shooting. Definitely the creative directing, and ultimately just whatever whatever I am envisioning coming to life. Obviously easier said than done, but I think that's where a lot of people kind of struggle with, is when the vision doesn't become a reality, they get very stumped. Like, I don't know what to do. But then that's kind of where like you kind of have to pick up the pace and like kind of improvise on the spot. Kind of like the under pressure feel, which a lot of people, I mean, me and myself included, might not do so well. But like, once you've been in that kind of environment for so long, you kind of adapt to it.
I think a bit of both is just, I guess like my thought process, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because like my thought process is a bunch of the time it's like something can be done perfectly, right? Like I feel like a lot of the times in my head it's like if I have an idea, I feel like I can project it outwards or produce it how it's in my head, right? And like you just said, within this field you kind of have to get used to sometimes rejecting that idea, right? But like I feel like sometimes I'm just so wired that way, where it's like, okay, like I can still get it, I can still get it, I can still get it, right? I haven't built that adapting or pivoting yet, right? Like if I have a plan A, I want that plan A to work because it is plan A, right? Instead of just, like my main idea, right? Like instead of just being like, all right, plan A is good, but plan B can work too if I need to pivot, right? And I feel like it's something that I definitely need to gain with more experience, like you talked about, and something I just need to accept more, or just like expand my creative ideas, right? Because I feel like usually plan A is like my thought processes, instead of like adding different elements or even like taking some inspiration for like a plan B or things like that. So I would say that's definitely one challenging part for me, just rejecting that perfectionist mindset. Yeah, you?
So for me, I guess I can actually do both. Like, so personally, I've been a very, very like, I don't want to say the word demanding, but very like bossy personality. Like I'm very blunt, I'm very like straightforward with whatever I say, but and this is kind of going on a tangent, but like the tone of my voice can sometimes be very harsh, even though like I don't really mean it. So I have created a lot of like enemies in the past. No, I mean, I don't want to say enemies, but like people who have not, I definitely not have, because there's obviously personality clashes, that clashes with mine. So like they're like, oh my gosh, he's so mean and stuff. So personally, like I understand that, from a creative aspect, with my tone and me directing might sound very harsh. So now that's transitioning into personally to professional. Like how does that? So professionally now, me being that directive position, I might sound very like harsh or like very authoritative in a way. So like a lot of the models, or like even like people that I've worked with might like sometimes get very off-put by it because I just sound so demanding or very like directive. So that's like one of the things that I for sure like struggle, is that like I'm not trying to be mean, it's just I'm trying to be efficient to get work done, I've been doing this for 7 years, and eventually the things that I learned is like when it's time to work, it's time to work, and I'm just trying to get things done like really like not quick, but like be efficient, like, and that is very important as as you go, as time goes by, because more time is valuable. Like you don't want to be wasting time. And the one thing that a lot of people, or maybe most people, don't understand too, or maybe don't have the concept, is like kind of going off of your idea. Now again, I'm not trying to bash on you, but like I want to get that perfect shot, like I want to do it. Well, you also have to be considerate of the other people's time too.
As the days started to pass by, we started to get some time to actually work together at the creative camp as well. We were making these ads for the brands that sponsored this whole thing. We got to make ads for coffee companies. We got to make ads for bakeries. And we even got to make ads for a watch company. And I think that all those experiences really brought out what Tomo and P talked about during this whole thing. But besides making ads, I think there was a conversation that really opened my eyes. As creatives, we don't always go down a super traditional path. And because of that, there's also flexibility to explore other things as well. I think it just goes to show that you're not always restricted to one thing, and your potential can literally be limitless if you let it be. And Michael and Q-Joy were able to share that part of the conversation.
Where does music play into this?
Music?
Yeah.
Ooh. So that's kind of like, you know, your long lost love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, it's like your first love, but you broke up with her. She broke your heart.
That's Sean.
You broke up with her. You broke up with her.
And what happened, bro?
What happened?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for her.
Waiting for like an opportunity to pursue
somehow to bring it back into what I'm doing now. That would be amazing, because I still have my love for music, and like, as you can tell, like, I always needed playing like 24/7. Like, that's just kind of how that could be ADD. I don't know. It could just be my inability to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked into like filming DJ sets or
I actually have
concerts and stuff?
I have filmed a few DJ sets.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, in my opinion.
Oh,
I'd rather. I mean, I would want to be a DJ. That would be cool. Just like as a hobby.
Like Shaq.
Yeah, like DJ Diesel, bro. That would be crazy.
Okay.
But
Nice, man.
that's like probably a later thing I'm gonna pursue. What about you?
So
In terms of I guess creative avenues, do you have one that you want to kind of pursue?
I'm not sure.
No.
Video has always been cool, but I just never capitalized on that. Yeah, I'm not too sure, man.
Is that something you're trying to like pursue more?
No.
Or like get more? No.
It just seems cool, but it's not something that I want to pursue further.
Then how did you kind of end up at this camp?
True. Sean just invited me.
Oh, Sean just
Yeah, I want to be a dad.
You want to be a dad?
Just kidding. I want to be someone that owns something. That allows a place of service, or allows a place of, hey, I'm giving to someone, or like I'm serving something to someone. Because usually good things are centered around food, and good things are centered around drinks. And if I can provide either that space, or like provide the actual tangible object of a cup of coffee, in a monetary setting, yes, but also in a very like, this is what I'm doing 9 to 5, 7 to 7.
It gives you kind of like fulfillment.
Right.
It always continues to amaze me what other people are capable of, and how genuinely we're able to support each other as well.
You just said thank you.
What? You're out here dissing me? No. I said. You said you said I was fat, ugly, and stupid, and my hair was big.
I said you were smart, bro.
Yeah. So they're lying to me.
Michael and Eamon were able to support each other, and I genuinely love the relationship that they have with each other and developed over this trip. Besides that, they were also talking about what it really means to chase your own happiness.
What about you? What are your goals?
My goals, my dreams as creative.
For like a year now, right?
Actually,
full time.
Yeah, full time, about a year and a half now.
Year and a half.
But dude, I actually thought about that very recently. Some might even say overnight, but I did think about this. I think I want to be happy. It sounds so like just simple, but that's like the best way I think I can like say it. Like, I just want to be happy.
Preach, bro. Preach.
Like, happiness, there's so much that comes with happiness. Like, I don't think I can do anything in my life without, happiness. Like, it's such a driving force of my personality, one, and just like, just living how I want to live. Like, I don't think
I can, you know, do like a 9 to 5 or do something that I hate or dread of waking up every morning. I've lived that. I hate that. And kind of like living through life, like, you know, losing a lot of, you know, people, losing, you know, big things, you know. So like it takes a toll on you. And I think rather than thinking of it as so like, oh, I want to be the best, I want to be like that. Yeah, that of course it will always like be there in the sense like I will always be motivated. But my biggest driving force is just like I want to be happy. I
respect that, and honestly I love that. I feel the exact same way, because everybody's like trying to find a way to be happy, you know, and I feel like a lot of times we're kind of guided in the wrong way, you know, like we're guided towards these straight 9 to 5s, and I mean some people are happy doing that, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Not every 9 to 5 is the same. Sometimes it's like remote work, sometimes it's office, sometimes it's a mix, sometimes you're doing exactly what you want, you know?
Yeah, so it works for some people.
It really does, but dude, I just feel like when you chase what makes you happy, everything else works itself out.
Everything falls right.
Yeah. And like me, you know, stepping into this and doing this with you guys, like being surrounded by you guys, like this is what makes me happy.
Exactly, man.
You know? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not worried about anything when I'm doing this.
Yeah, bro, you only, like, you know how everyone always used to say, like, yo, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
You only live once.
Literally, though.
You literally only have one shot at life.
Yeah, that's it.
As the camp came to a close, we even got to celebrate Michael and Jerry's birthday.
Happy birthday to Michael and Jerry. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, guys. Damn. Those are some good candles. Why did it read like? Oh my god.
I couldn't have asked a better group of people to attend this trip with. And I really think it was the authenticity and empathy of these people that really made this trip what it was. I think as we got to know each other better, we truly made some memories that are going to last us a lifetime. But I know this won't be the last time, so I'll just say until the next time. Thanks, Fluff Studios. Until then, let's keep working on it.